A former Republican county clerk in Utah has been charged for illegally shredding ballots. Wow. Former Webb County Clerk Auditor Elena Lofgren has been accused of allowing ballots to be shredded after the 2022 election in violation of a law requiring their preservation for at least 22 months and of storing ballots from the 2020 election in an improper place. Apparently, this was left in basement storage, accessible by multiple county employees, and easily visible. So, state law requires that ballots and election returns be locked in a safe and secure place. The basement, not so safe and secure. So, you're not going to be surprised that this is, again, a Republican who served as Webb County clerk from 2015 to 2022. She did not seek re-election in 2022, yeah, I can see why. So here we have a right-winger who allegedly mishandled ballots, shredding thousands of them when she was told not to, and yet we're supposed to believe that it's the Democrats that are doing this stuff. Unbelievable, except for it's totally believable. More details. The charges followed a 2022 lawsuit against Webb and several other Utah counties seeking 2020 election records. During the lawsuit, a state judge told Lofgren to preserve records from that election. The lawsuit was dismissed but appealed, resulting in a second court order for her to preserve the election results. Soon after the 2022 election, a witness allegedly saw Lofgren put 2022 ballots in a shred bin in a large closet near the clerk's office. The ballots had to be taken out of the shred bin for recount, but the deputy clerk allegedly saw Lofgren put them back in later, saying, she said, "We don't need them anymore. The election reports are done." This is according to a deputy clerk who was unnamed in the charging document. Although that was not the case, she was told to hold on to them. Not only that, but her statement to the deputy clerk actually went against what she told investigators. Lofgren allegedly told them that she knew that she had to preserve the ballots and would be prosecuted if she did not, and was aware of the court order to preserve 2020 records due to the pending lawsuit, but shredded them anyway. Why? I mean, this is very curious. In 2020, Trump won Webb County easily. This is not surprising because it's always been strong Republican. So what would be the point of shredding these ballots? It doesn't make any sense. The Utah Attorney General's office investigation found that 4,795 ballots cast in Webb County and counted in the 2022 general election were missing, and of the 5,932 ballots cast in the 2020 general election, most of them were missing. Missing ballots. Now, according to the official tally, Trump won the county with 5,087 votes, whereas Joe Biden got 645. Or did he? No, look, I'm not questioning that. I'm not questioning the result here. I'm pretty sure that no matter what, Trump massively won that county. Of course. That said, with all these ballots missing, I mean, it doesn't make any sense why to shred the ballots. It's not like this is a battleground state. So I don't really think that there's a fraud issue here, that she's like trying to do election fraud or anything. And the charging documents don't allege a political motivation, but there had to be a reason. And I just don't see it. I just don't see why. Why would she do that? Why would she shred ballots and store them in an improper place? I mean, why? Why? What's the point? What's the point? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Look, we've seen clerks elsewhere across the country that did allegedly tamper with the voting equipment and technology, and they did so in order to help Donald Trump. In Colorado, for example, former clerk Tina Peters is facing charges for an alleged effort to breach voting system technology after the 2020 election. In Michigan, Stephanie Scott was this former small town clerk, had been ousted by voters and got stripped of her election duties back in 2021 amid accusations that she improperly handled voting equipment after casting doubt on President Biden's 2020 victory in that state. And then, of course, we had Sidney Powell, Coffee County, Georgia, her having to take a plea deal in that case. So that said, I mean, yes, we have seen right-wingers that have improperly handled ballots and tried to get into and breach these voting machines in order to find efforts of fraud. I don't think that's the case here, but I don't really know. There would be no reason because Trump, again, this is a very, very strong, Republican district. I just don't see it. So, but she knew better, but she did it anyway, and I don't have any explanation for it. Now, the thing, though, that jumps out at me from the story is, oh, would you look at that? The system works. This person did all the things, or some of the things, that, Republicans allege the Democrats are doing. She actually got caught. She got caught because she was actually doing these things. Whereas you don't see this happening for Democrats. They're getting caught. Republicans are getting caught destroying ballots, giving themselves unauthorized access to these voting machines, and of course doing plain old voter fraud. All the stuff that they're accusing Democrats of doing, they're the ones that are doing it. It's projection. It's all projection, and yet the system shows that it works because they're getting caught, catching all these people that are doing these bad things. That, again, the right-wing voters all across the country are alleging are happening all the time. No, they're not happening all the time. The fact that these people are getting caught is because we do have a system in place, and when it does happen, they are caught, and it becomes big news because it doesn't happen all the time, because we have enough safeguards in place, and not only that, but we have voter apathy at levels like we've never seen. Okay, people, not as many people voting as there could be. Okay, not as many people interested in becoming part of the electoral system. Why would so many people, if you believe Republicans, cheat in a system where the people who are legal to vote, a lot of them don't? They're so turned off by this system. So again, that's always rubbed me the wrong way, that argument. But again, what we've seen from the fraud, the voter fraud, electoral fraud, the improper handling of ballots, this has all been coming from Republicans. They think it's the Democrats, but it's not. And so, I don't know, when it comes to election security, they live in opposite world. Yes, does voter fraud happen? Of course. Does ballot stuffing happen? Yes, it does. We know that people improperly hand up ballots all the time. And you know what? We have a system that is prepared for it. It's not a perfect system, but as you can see, it keeps catching people. And it works just fine for the incredibly small election fraud that actually happens. And I think, this woman getting caught and charged is a great example of it. And should make, by the way, people feel a lot better in trusting the system to catch criminals and people that, do improper things with our ballots. You should definitely have a lot more trust that your vote is going to count.